Hello YouTube. I wanted to share with you guys today a story and a thought that I had, a thing that occurred to me yesterday. My daughter, yes, I was allowed to procreate, go figure. My daughter was in her first play. It was the Thanksgiving Day play. Contrary to what you may think, I live in a fairly affluent area, and as such, there was the parents and grandparents and even alumni of this kindergarten class were all present. So there were 60 kids shoved into this kindergarten classroom. So here are the cast and crew of these little fellows. There are the pilgrims, who every time they're mentioned kind of make a hatchet job like they work. There are the pilgrim women, who every time they're mentioned go, mercy me. There are the Indian guys, the Indian men, and every time they're mentioned they go strong and brave, strong and brave. There are the Indian women, and every time that they're mentioned, they either make a plowing kind of a motion or a baby kind of motion. There are the turkeys, of which my daughter was, and was the best turkey ever, I might add. And every time they're mentioned, they naturally went gobble, gobble, gobble. And there was a preacher, and every time he was mentioned, he raised his hands to the sky and looked upward and went, praise the Lord. The story goes as follows. The pilgrims come to the new land and they meet the Indians, and of course the the Indians are happy to have them. I'm sure when the pilgrims actually arrived, the Indians were just so happy to see them, and I'm sure that was their main goal, was to have a happy Thanksgiving dinner. And the premise of the play is for them to pull off a Thanksgiving dinner. Ask the Indians now, whose numbers are barely even registerable on the census forms, who've been forced to the far corners of the U.S. I'm sure they regret that Thanksgiving dinner with all of their heart. The problem is the pilgrims, of course, don't know how to grow anything in the new land, and so, of course, the Indians are happy to teach. Complicating incident of the entire play was the fact that they can't find a turkey. And I think to myself, when the pilgrim women go, oh, mercy me, how oppressed they must be, and how much they must really adore their men for going out and hunting down the turkey. And I think to myself, wow, I bet feminists will have a field day with this. The pilgrims and the Indians, set to work at finding a turkey so that they can pull off this wonderful, joyous Thanksgiving dinner. And of course, the Indian women are at home plowing the fields and having babies. And every time the Indians go off to go hunt and they leave the females behind to plow and have babies, I think to myself, wow, if there were feminists in the crowd, they would be furious right now. Furious. And the pilgrim men and the Indian men are off hunting for the turkeys. Every time they encounter hardship, the preacher goes, praise the Lord, and things magically get better. And I think to myself, wow, that's fucked. They're indoctrinating our kids. Look at this awful Christian invasion. This is horrible. So naturally, they do find the turkey, and all goes well, and they're able to get the turkey. And I'm watching this play, and I'm yelling inside. I'm yelling, revisionist history, indoctrination. This is awful. And they have a great Thanksgiving dinner. They sing a song about how the turkey tastes good in their belly. All is well. I thought to myself, man, if there were vegetarians or vegans in this audience right now, they would be furious. I mean, who really sings a song about ending an animal's life and eating it? That's awful. And then I think to myself, wait, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? You can't let this shit go for 5 minutes to enjoy a kid's play? YouTube has seriously warped your head. And I just got to thinking, a quick back history. I've only been on YouTube. I haven't been on YouTube a year yet, but I'm on YouTube because I find it more interesting than TV. The videos and stuff that all you guys make entertain me more so than anything that I can find out there. The interesting point about YouTube is it tends to be, at least my circle, tends to be a very liberal and progressive place for ideas. You have Thunderfoot and DPR, and all those guys, and like friends that I watch, like Varia Blast and Choir Girl, all those, they're very forward and progressive and liberal ideas, and we all kind of want to make the world a better place. I mean, that's why we fight against Christianity and things like that, because our heads are in the right place, And I have the luxury of sitting at a desk where I can stream and watch, or at the very least listen to YouTube pretty much all day. And because I have such good friends here, a lot of the times I'll go home and watch their blog TVs if I can, and see what's going on that way. So I'm inundated with YouTube for 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And I'm constantly processing. I'm constantly processing all these ideas and agreeing with some and disagreeing with others, and thinking about movies and replies and that whole thing. You know how interactive YouTube can be. So there you go. There's that. So it occurs to me as I'm watching this and I'm having these thoughts that and I use this word loosely, but my head is so polluted, or maybe polluted is a bad word, is so clouded with all the stuff that we deal with on YouTube all day, or out in the internet, or even out in the real world all day, that I'm not able to let my idealism go for long enough to just enjoy that pure and beautiful moment for what it was, which was my daughter's first play. In summary, I just wanted to say that we have to be careful, in my opinion, about where and how we present our ideas, and that we shouldn't carry our idealistic chip on our shoulder all the time, lest we run the risk of seeing the big picture or smelling the coffee, as it were. Because we live in a really cool time out. There's a lot of negative stuff out there. I mean, hell, just look at Cassie Dill's page. But we live in a really crazy time right now, but there's also a lot of beauty out there. And there's a lot of cool things to be happy about. I mean, just look into a telescope sometime. I mean, there's a lot of beauty. And we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that, we've only got one shot at this. So, don't carry that chip on your shoulder all the time. Stop every once in a while and look at the world around you, because there's a lot of cool stuff. And I caught myself doing that. So there you go. That's my summary. And as a side note, I wanted to tell each and every one of you that if I had to sit in a Thanksgiving circle and talk about what I was thankful about, one of my answers would be you. That's right. I never intended to make videos. I was encouraged and goaded by several of you out there, and it's working out great. My subs are going up, and I try desperately to entertain you. And if you want to call me a sub whore, fine, but I don't think there's any harm in that. And so I want all of you. I don't know that I'm going to get a chance between now and Thanksgiving to make another video, like from me to you. I'll put out the rest of my Tempest Fugitive interview series, but as far as like a personal video like this, I won't have time to do it. So I want all of you to have a happy Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for how cool you've been. I mean, none of you have owned me. I haven't been vote botted or really even torn apart. I mean, there's been a couple of jackasses, but that's been, that's to be expected. And I love all you guys, and I hope that you have a great Thanksgiving. So thank you.